Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many different twists and turns as well as revelations in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really enjoyable about Episode 9 so far is that we do know that this film is going to hold a lot of connections to the prequels and the originals, and also borrowing many different elements from Star Wars Legends, also known as the Expanded Universe. And what's great about this is that we do know that George Lucas is heavily involved, not just with the rewrites of the film, but also the reshoots of The Rise of Skywalker to really provide a very unique story for the audience around the world. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren entering of what's said to be an abandoned Imperial base, where it's said that one of the scenes involves a moment where Kylo discovers a large hollow projector, where he activates it where it plays an old hologram of Palpatine from many years ago, after learning of the dark entity known as Snoke in the unknown regions. It's said that at one point in time, Palpatine had made a threat to Snoke, and to reveal himself as Palpatine was interested in Snoke's power. It's described that while Palpatine was alive, he was never able to pinpoint Snoke's position, however was able to get his messages through the Snoke on board of his mysterious ship before his supremacy, since Snoke stayed located near stars where the radiation would alter his signal. It's said that in the hologram, Palpatine tells Snoke that he would like to learn the origins of his power, and that in response, Palpatine sent teams over into the unknown regions to search for this being Snoke. The message from Palpatine to Snoke is said to be a threat and a proposal at the same time, where Palpatine's interest in Snoke's power has to do with his connection to the beyond. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and why it connects to what we went over a couple of weeks ago of how Snoke was indeed born from the beyond itself. Now, to this very day, we're still not quite sure exactly what the beyond really is. Is it a different galaxy? Is it a different realm or dimension? Is it perhaps the very center of the galaxy? We're not quite sure exactly what the beyond is just yet. But nonetheless, we do know that whatever this really is, it's going to be a big part of the backdrop of Episode 9's story. So in this scenario, we have Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren infiltrating this abandoned Imperial base that holds many secrets of Palpatine, and once they go in there, Kylo discovers this large hollow projector. And what's really intriguing, though, is how the actual Palpatine hologram is said to be a mixture of a threat and a proposal to Snoke about learning the origins of his power. Now, this also lines directly up with some of the books and the novels out there that do exist, by the way, under the Disney canon, where Palpatine is talking about this dark figure, this dark entity that exists in the unknown regions that he feels. So, in case you guys did not know, on Jakku, Palpatine had a thing called the Jakku Observatory, which also held hyperspace routes to the unknown regions. And now you can really see how everything is starting to piece together as to why Palpatine was so interested in the unknown regions. Not just to send some of his fleet out there, but to also learn more about Supreme Leader Snoke as a character. Now, what's really intriguing about this is that this is once again creating a connection between both Snoke and Palpatine. And what I like about that is that it really does set up a lot of mystery for the past before the events of the sequel trilogy and what really happened between both Palpatine and Snoke. After all, there are a lot of hints and or indicators out there that eventually the spirit of Sidious infiltrated the body of Snoke and that Palpatine ruled the First Order until he was spliced into two by Kylo Ren, where the spirit of Sidious exited that body and is now going to enter the Dark Acolytes in Episode 9. So that's what's really interesting about this film. We do know that this movie's going to have, a lot of moments like this that's really going to fill in the gaps in between the originals and the sequels, which, by the way, a large time jump. We're talking about 30 plus years in between Episode 6 and 7. There's a lot to tell in between those films. And the fact that they will be touching on the origins of the First Order, as well as new secrets about Palpatine's legacy, such as this. That's what I love about this film so far by JJ, is that it's really paying a lot of respect to a lot of the legacy characters like Palpatine, Luke, Leia, Lando, you name it. And as well as a lot of popular characters throughout the entire Skywalker saga in little bits and pieces throughout the entire plot of this movie in a very unique way. And the last thing I really want to go over here is, of course, this Palpatine hologram is said to be very vital to Kylo Ren's pretty much, growth as a character. We do know that the more he learns about the past in this film, the more he grows as an actual dark side user. And that's exactly why Kylo Ren is in search for many different relics in this movie, because it has all to do with the Beyond itself. In fact, one of the devices is actually said to have a connection to Palpatine's legacy that will play a large role in Episode 9's plot. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.